Second here, of course, ARC TV picking up our feed here. We got Ernie Binko on the camera.
Thank you.
As long as he doesn't show us on the camera, we'll be all right.
Yeah.
Smile when you say that.
Honaker now with the ball, wide outs, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Gill back to pass, throwing it down the middle. He got a man down there. It's almost picked off again. That was
Lebanon was offside, Joe Moore.
Flag on the field. Colton Barton let that one get through his hands. He had a good shot at picking that one off down about the 5-yard line. But look at the penalty. Jamie says it's offsides.
Flag on the ground.
The referee pointed towards Honaker there a minute. Now he's putting back to Lebanon. It's kind of mixed up. He calls it offside.
Will be offsides against the Pioneers. Dead ball. It will remain third down.
It'll stay third down. Now it's 3rd and 22.
I'll take your word for it. That's what he's got on the scoreboard.
That's not right, I don't think, but anyway. I guess it is about 22.
Yeah,
that's about right.
There.
That's about right. Got to count on Rex to do it right. Wide outs, 1 to the left, 1 to the right. Gill in the shotgun with 3 backs back there with him. Looks like he might run this one. Gill sprints out to the left, wants to throw, throws it deep down the left sideline. That got away from him. Slipped out of his hand, fell way short. A dying duck there. And it brings up 4th down.
Ball's at the Pioneer 36-yard line. I don't know whether they'll kick it or not. I'd say I would.
Yeah, I believe they will. That one was so far short that Pioneers didn't even have a chance to intercept it. It's like number 27, T.J. Hubbard. His first kick of the game, he shanked. He's going to kick it from about the 45-yard line of Lebanon. Troy will put a foot into it. This one he hits better and angles it towards the sideline. Goes out of bounds somewhere around the 8 or 10-yard line, I would think. Going to call it the 8-yard line for it went out. Lebanon will have it 1st and 10 with 92 yards to go to pay dirt. Honaker leads at 6-0, 11:47 remaining in the first half.
28 yards on the kick, Merle, but very effective.
A lot better than that first kick.
Got the Pioneers backed up here.
Looks like Hurdy going out wide to the right for Lebanon, everybody else in tight. Hunter Music's going to go under center. Big line splits for Lebanon now on this setup. He hands the tailback coming through. He gets by 1 tackler and spins his way to the 10-yard line, a 2-yard gain. Grayson Olsen on the carry, and it'll be 2nd and 8 from the 10.
We're early in the second quarter here. Honaker with a 6-0 lead thanks to an opening kickoff 90-yard touchdown.
Lebanon sends one wide out to the right, everybody else in tight. Those line splits again. Looks like somebody moved too quickly that time and the flags fly. I think Lebanon moved too quickly.
Yeah, I do too. It's going to cost them 5 there. They get back to the 5-yard line, so talk about being in the shadow of your own goalpost. They certainly are.
Need a big play to get out of this.
So it'll be 2nd and I thought about 13 for the Pioneers.
Parker Bandy goes in as that's not Bandy. They line up with the power out backfield. Now sprinting out to pass. Now he's going to keep it and run. It's Music, and he gets knocked down, thrown back from about the 10-yard line.
He didn't gain anything. He's right on the 5.
Not the 5-yard line, excuse me. Yeah, he got spun back.
So it'll be 3rd and 13 for the Pioneers.
3rd and long for the Pioneers.
Connor Hovis, big freshman, going in there. He's a tight end normally. They line up with a wing back on either side, and a whistle stops play. Lebanon called timeout, I believe, didn't
I
they?
think the Tigers called a
did they?
timeout. 6-0 Honaker leads it. We'll be right back. You're listening to high school football on WXLZ. It's third and 13 for the Pioneers from their own 5-yard line. Music in the end zone to throw. Throws over the middle. It's picked off by Honaker, and that's going to result in a touchdown. That's number 5, Jamie Jackson Dye. Jackson Dye with the interception and takes it back to pay dirt for Honaker. I'm not sure that Hunter Music saw him. But he threw it right to Dye. Honaker scores again, and it's 12-0, and I would assume they'll go for 2 here again. Went about, 8 yards for a touchdown? I
Something like that, yeah. Got it out there about the 8 or 9 yard line.
Once again, looked like Honaker's going for 2.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. Gill's got 3 wide outs to the right. He's straight back to pass, looks to his left, runs out of there now, and fakes and then throws to the end zone. It's complete. And that's, I never did see him signal.
Music,
yeah. They did. They finally signaled extra points good. And Lebanon trailing Honaker here 14-0 after the score. And Honaker will kick off to Lebanon with 9:52 to go in the second period. We'll keep it right here for the kickoff if he chooses to kick it back there. He squibs it, looked like onside kick attempt. Lebanon falls on it, I believe.
I think they got it,
at about their own 46-yard line. Well, they're saying Honaker. Are they saying Honaker got that? They say Honaker got it.
Boy, I don't know how.
I don't know either. The Lebanon guy they must have taken it away from him after he was down on the ground. It'll be Honaker ball from the Lebanon 46 after the onside kick. Honaker got some big boys in that line now.
Yeah, they're pretty good size. They're
still
a whole lot better than Lebanon.
Still Music there at right tackles, 368. Scoring the handoff to the running back in the back. That's Miller. He breaking tackles, runs the other way, and picks up about a half a yard before he's drugged down over on the far side by Tatum. Tatum's all over the field on defense.
Yeah, he ran him down there. He bounced the ball back outside after trying the right side, and Tatum caught him. If he hadn't, it would have been a good game.
Yeah, he's hard to tackle, evidently. They're not doing a very good job getting him on the ground.
So it'll be second, and we'll call it 2nd and 9. It's a long 9, though. Gill goes under center and gets it back to his halfback coming from the left side, and he's stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe lost a little bit. That was Miller again. They bottled him up that time for no gain.
Flag on the play. Face mask against the Pioneers.
Called a face mask penalty against the Pioneers.
5 yards.
They called a 5-yard face mask, though, so it'll remain second down, and it'll be 2nd and 4 for the Tigers.
They got a couple of big boys in the middle of that line. They'd run inside. Lebanon have trouble stopping them. Having trouble with them when they're running wide. Honaker sends a wide out to the right. He's off sides actually, but they didn't call it. And the run, I think that's Miller again, wasn't it?
No, that was the quarterback, Gill.
Oh, was that Gill carrying?
Yeah.
About a yard. Third. About 3.
He gained down to 11 and 39, so it'll be 3rd and 3. It's a big play in the game here, Jamie. Lebanon needs to stop. Of course, Honaker might go for it on 4th down if it's not too long. Pitch it to the man in the backfield. He's slung down for a loss.
Number 12, low on the Gary. He's going to be stopped in the backfield by number 72, Quincy Brown.
Quincy Brown making the tackle for Lebanon. It was low, 8 and low on the carry, and he couldn't get out of the backfield. Brown was all over him.
Lost about 3 yards, 4 yards, about 3 yards. So it's going to be 4th and about 7 now.
6 for the Tigers.
They're going to kick it again, and they got a different punter in there now, Jamie. Not sure who it is.
Tatum goes back deep. J.D. Tatum along with Herdick.
Gets the punt off over towards the left sidelines, and Tatum lets it roll. I don't know if it went out of bounds or come back in.
He's going to mark it out of bounds, so about the 12-yard line.
The Pioneer 12-yard line. Will it be 1st and 10 Pioneers?
So he got about 30 yards on that kick. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Pioneers. I believe they're at the 12-yard line, Merle. So once again, not good field position.
It is at the 12, and
Pioneers kind of need to move the ball here this time, though, to get themselves back in the game. So far, not doing much against that Honaker defense.
haven't done much at all. Hunter Music will go under center. He hands it the first man through. Quick hitter out to the 15-yard line. Let's see who that was. It's Tatum, I believe.
I believe it was, yeah. Picks up about 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7. The ball resting right on the 15-yard line.
Music comes to the sideline, over near the sideline to get to play. See what they come up with here. They send it's Grayson Olson, I think, in the wide left. And off in the backfield this time. Tatum running hard. He breaks through on the move, and he's ahead of everybody. And I don't believe anybody's going to catch J.D. Tatum. Oh, that's Zach Hurdy. Touchdown, Hurdy. Nobody could catch him.
85 yards.
85-yard touchdown by Zach Hurdy. Thought that was Tatum to begin with, but it was Hurdy get popped through there. (14-6), Honaker over Lebanon, and Lebanon will kick the extra point, I think. We'll see. Wait and see. Zach Hurdy will hold, and that is Austin Caldwell. That'll do the kicking, isn't it? Is that number 3 or number 1? Kick is up and no good. It's hit to the left. I think that was Josiah Wilson, maybe. Was that number 1 or number 3? I couldn't tell.
I couldn't either.
Score, Honaker 14, Lebanon 6 with 6:18 to go in the first half. We'll be back in a moment with the kickoff. You're listening to High School Football 107.3 WXLZ. Back here at Lebanon Middle School, Tommy Bryant Stadium, and the kickoff by Josiah Wilson. He kicks it high and pretty deep to the 10-yard line where it's taken, run back, and hit at about the 24-yard line and knocked back by about 3 or 4. That's Aiden Lowe, hit by about 4 Pioneers and knocked on his rear, knocked him back. And good coverage that time on that kick, Jay.
Little better coverage on that kickoff.
Sure was. He's got it to 22-yard line.
Yeah, that's right.
1st and 10 from the 22. Tigers' own 22-yard line.
14-6 our score now. The Tigers lead it.
Gill with 3 men in the backfield, and he runs an option, cuts it back, and gets maybe a yard. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure he gained anything, Merle.
Now he's going to put it down to 22, so it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 22.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Tigers. We have 5:48 left in the first half. 14-6, Honaker with the lead.
We were talking about the monitor there for Ernie, and we probably could see those numbers better on that monitor. Gill's got a couple of wide outs to the right, throws it out there quickly, and Lebanon converges on it, covered pretty well. Aiden Lowe, and looked like a block in the back as Lowe gets knocked down at about the 28, but a flag comes in. Honaker, I think that was number 26 that I believe that Skylar Miller hit Tatum in the back.
I think they're going to mark that one off from about the 20-yard line. That'll take it back to the 10-yard line. So
marked at half a distance, I guess, and Honaker will have it at their own 10. 2nd and 22. From their own 10-yard line. See what Coach Hubbard comes up with here. We didn't talk much about Coach Hubbard before the game, Jamie, but this is his 39th year coaching. He
39th year.
Going to be his last one, he says.
That's what he says, yeah.
From the shotgun, Gill sprints out to the left, throws it out to the left. It's caught. Nice catch out there. And getting by one tackler and finally run out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. I can't see who that is over there.
That was Aiden Lowe, I think.
Aiden Lowe with the pass. He made a good catch on that. It was up over his head. He went up and got it. And then turned it into a pretty good gain afterwards. So Honaker will have it 1st and 10.
About 26 yards on that completion, Merle.
From their own 36.
Well, the first down there for
36-yard line.
Parker Bandy comes out wide to the right. Man in motion. Handoff goes to Skylar Miller, breaks one tackle, and gets tripped up at the 40-yard line by a couple of Pioneers.
26. Miller on the carry.
picks up about 4 on that one, I think, Merle.
Luke Taylor and Eli Perkins in on that tackle.
Give him a 3-yard gain. It's going to be 2nd and 7.
4:48 and the clock running here in the first half. Honaker leads 14-6. They'd love to get something more on the board for the halftime break. They bring a couple of players off of the bench into the huddle. And Isaac Perkins goes out wide to the left. There's one wide out. 2 more players join him. I believe the Tigers had to call timeout. I believe the play clock had just about run down. So Honaker takes the timeout. We'll break with them. 4:24, 14-6. Honaker lead. We'll be back. You're listening to High School Football on 107.3 WXLZ.
carry. Stop by number 7, Taylor. Going to be enough for the first down. It'll be first and 10.
2nd and 7 for Honaker, and they
48-yard line.
Gill takes it off left tackle, fakes a handoff, and goes off left tackle with it himself, cuts back to the right, and gets a first down at Honaker's 48-yard line. Their own 48.
Pioneers had him stuffed there at the line of scrimmage, and
He broke a tackle here.
broke a tackle there and kept right on going. So good run by the Tiger quarterback.
Here's a bobble back in the backfield for Gill, and he makes something out of it as he pops back up the middle. There's a hole there, and he gets about 4 or 5 yards there. I think that was a broken play. Looked like he might have been wanting to get that to Jack's Horn on an option.
Picked up about 6 or more. Looks like it's going to be second and about 4. Pioneer 40, right about the 46-yard line of the Pioneers.
Eli Perkins back into the game for the Pioneers.
3:20 left, and the clock is moving here. I think Honaker's got one more timeout.
Eli's Perkins, the left defensive end. They're playing Lebanon playing a 4-4 defense. And now Gill wants a timeout. He didn't like what he saw, and he used that last timeout. Play clock might have been running down. I wasn't watching it, but we'll stay here during this timeout. Honaker's pretty much had their way with Lebanon, but Lebanon's hanging in there, still right in this game after that long run by Zach Herdig.
I think Honaker, do they entertain Castlewood next week?
I'm not sure, Jack.
I believe they do.
I meant to bring that schedule I have.
Well, I think I might have a schedule here somewhere. I'll look at it. But I believe Castlewood goes up to Honaker next week. That'll probably be our game of the week on the radio.
.303 to go here in the first half now as they come out of the timeout.
I don't think the Tigers have any more timeouts, Merle. I don't believe.
They got 3 real big boys in that line, 2 on the left
Yeah,
side,
they
1
are.
on the
They're
right.
big.
And the handoff this time is to Lowe, running to the left, and he gets around the corner and finally knocked out of bounds at about the Lebanon 40 or 39, I believe, on the far side of the field. Couldn't tell who made that tackle over there. But
Picks up about 7 on that one, and it'll be good for a first down for the Tigers. Ball just inside the 40-yard line of Lebanon.
I think that was Tatum again on the tackle. Honaker comes to the ball. First down. Parker Bandy comes wide to the right to hand off right up the middle. That's Lowe, I believe.
I think that was
Might have been Horn.
Horn, I think.
Jack's Horn. I believe that's who it was.
He picks up 3 yards on that carry,
He's already got a dirty uniform.
and it'll be second down and 7. Ball right at the Pioneer 36-yard line.
Be about 2:20 to go in the half when this ball is snapped. 3 backs back there in the backfield with Gill. He wants to throw it. Throws over the middle, got a man over, and completes it down to the Lebanon 25-yard line. 24 perhaps.
Was that Music caught that ball?
Yeah, that was Peyton Music.
And that's another first down for Honaker. That was a nice catch, really.
Was.
Just a quick zip.
It's a good throw by
Picks up 11.
Now Miller fakes the handoff, runs out wide to the right, cuts it back instead of pitching it, and gets to the. No, it wasn't Miller.
That was Gill.
Gill, I said. Wrong. It was the quarterback.
He's going to pick up 4 on that carry. It'll be second and 6.
From the 20. Minute 40 to go, inside of a minute 40 by the time they get this one snapped.
Pretty good drive here by Honaker. They started on their own 22-yard line.
Timeout Lebanon.
All right, we'll take it with them. It's 14-6. Honaker leads it. We've got a minute 32 to go first half. You're listening to Cold Bowl action here on WXLZ.
All right, coming out of the timeout, Honaker with the ball, 2nd and 5 at the Lebanon 25 with a minute 32 to go in the first half. Gill sprints back to the left, throws it deep out to the left. Battle for the ball out there, and it's caught and incomplete, they say now, as the ball.
That was Music had it, but then came loose.
Peyton Music, big tall end, had it and tried to dive into the end zone with it, but lost it, didn't come down with it complete. So it's incomplete pass. He bobbled it and lost it to the ground.
He was covered pretty well out there, but
He just took it away from a defender. Not sure who that is out there.
I think it was 33.
I think Olson's out there now.
Might have been Olson over
Olson
there.
or Hurdig, one or the other over there. I can't see if it's 15 or 5. I think it's Olson. So now it's 3rd and 5 from the 25. Gill fakes, wants to pass, looks out to his left. Now he's going to run with it. Gets clear up the line of scrimmage. A flag flies as he goes inside the 10-yard line. And I think there was
We've got a flag back here at the 20-yard line.
I think it was Austin Marsh, I think, blocking in the back. I think was the call. Marsh is going to go out. He's headed for the sidelines. Not too happy with him as it costs him. There's
Gill took the ball down inside the 10.
and made a good run with it. That block in the back was behind the play.
Yeah.
It was unnecessary.
They're having an awful long conference there. Back on about the 21-yard line, the officials huddled up there, 3 of them. That's right where they threw the flag, and I'm not sure.
Now they're going to wave it off, Jamie. I don't know why they threw it.
Flag is waved off. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Tigers.
So now that the ball was taken all the way to the 7-yard line by Gill.
I don't know how much he gained on that one.
Minute 15 now in the game. Gill with 3 backs back there with him. He gives it the first back through. It's low, running hard. He gets it inside the 5-yard line and down to about the 4. Now a flag flies against Lebanon. Somebody said something. I think that was a big tackle there.
Will be a dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct against the Pioneers.
It's Quincy Brown, I believe.
They get him half the distance to
Will be
the.
going off half the distance to the goal.
Yeah, we're giving a missed touchdown.
Yep.
54 seconds to go. Maybe they can make them fumble.
Will be 1st and goal for the Tigers.
Grayson Olson comes out. I didn't see who replaced him. Handoff is to Lowe. He bulls his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. Didn't have far to go, but
That's Horn.
is that Horn?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Jack's Horn. Touchdown, Honaker by Horn. That'll make it 20-6 with the extra point to come. Looks like Gill trying to get a play from the sideline.
20-6 now. Honaker will probably be going for 2 here.
Big End comes back in there again now. Peyton Music. He goes out to the left. Gill's going to go under center now with an eye backfield behind him. Hands it and fakes it to the tailback, sprints out to right, throws it, and gets it. Extra point good. It was close. I think he went down right at the goal line. And I believe that was Lowe that caught it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it's 22-6. Honaker with the kickoff coming. We'll stay here for the last 47 seconds of this half. Honaker leading it 22-6. Lebanon pretty much gave him that touchdown.
Yeah, that was pretty much a gift with the penalties. not real good tackling either.
No, it wasn't.
That was a great drive, though. I believe 78 yards. Honaker took it all the way from their own 22-yard line. So really good touchdown drive by the Tigers.
2 or 3 penalties hurt Lebanon. One that they picked up a flag on looked like a penalty against Honaker, and they picked it up. Well, the Pioneers with their back to the wall now.
.47 seconds left here, first half. 22-6, Honaker leads it.
Hurdig's back there deep again. See if Peyton Music kicking off. If he wants to kick it to, I don't think he'll kick it deep. No, he just squibs it on the ground. Goes right through the legs of one Pioneer and a scramble for the ball. Honaker says they've got it, and they do, right at the Lebanon 40-yard line. Lebanon just can't pick the ball up, Jamie. But right between the legs of the up man, and there were 2 men back there behind him, and neither one of them could come up with it.
We're going to have to put the hands team out there.
Yeah, they're going to have to do something.
But the ball's at the 41-yard line of the Pioneers.
Pioneers down. They better get jacked up for this last play or two here.
I don't think Honaker has any timeouts left.
Lebanon's lost their cool a little bit.
Got to play it kind of loose here.
Unsportsmanlike call on him. Gill with 3 men back there with him. He bobbles the snap, picks it up, runs out to his left and gets hit as he throws it deep. And it's incomplete down about the 25-yard line, the 15-yard line rather. Gill got creamed as he threw it.
Well, that's putting it mildly. I think 2 Pioneers really put the belt on him, but he pops up. He's tough. He's tough.
2nd and 10, 38 seconds to go. Honaker about has to throw it. They can't.
Pioneers really should have picked that pass off more.
Yeah, he was there.
Just got his hands on it, but couldn't hold it. Of course, the Honaker receiver there had something to do with that too, I think.
Yeah, it's that big receiver, Peyton Music. Gill takes a snap, quarterback draw up the middle, gets some running room, and finally gets tackled all the way down inside the Lebanon 20. Zach Hurdig with the tackle.
Picks up about 19 yards on that one.
29 seconds now. They start the clock, and Gill bobbles the snap, and then they call it that he downed it. That was a fumble, Jamie.
Official timeout on the field.
Officials are going to talk about that. Gill was going to kill it, throw it down to kill the clock, and he bobbled it on the ground, picked it up, and then threw it down. I don't know what you call that. They're not going to call it anything.
Well, he's not going to call it. That's the he's not going to give you his incompletion. So the clock continued to move.
Gill's pass batted down. Who hit that, Jay?
I didn't see it. I was looking down in the end zone.
I think it was Eli Perkins, I believe.
But that was an incomplete pass, and it's going to be, should be 3rd and 10, really. Unless they rule no play on that last play, I don't know.
Well, that's crazy.
Looks like to me it ought to be 3rd down.
Gill sprints out to his left, throws it deep for Peyton. Music broken up over there. Good break up that time. Austin Caldwell knocking that one away.
Yeah, that receiver was wide open there too till Caldwell got there late. Batted it down.
3rd and 10 there now. Ball on the 16.
I still think it ought to be fourth down.
I think so too. He obviously fumbled that ball.
Well, I mean, they must have called it no down, but I don't know how you can do that.
No, you can't. You can't possibly do it. It's got to be a down.
But anyway, unless you have a defensive penalty, this should be the last play of the first half. Of course, Honaker
whistle just at the snap.
Flag on the play is going to be a delay game against the Tigers.
Delay a game against Honaker. So they move it back to the 21-yard line. And they'll throw this in the end zone. That'll be the...
And I think Lebanon is going to take a timeout.
Timeout Pioneers.
I think that's their last timeout, too.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to remind you that
22-6 our score.
all proceeds will
Honaker in the lead here, and we've got time for one play here in the first half.
If Tatum is not defending a receiver, I'd send him sprinting through there after the quarterback, Gill. Send somebody with some speed after Gill. Not let him just have time to
Gill's had a good first half, though. He's handled things pretty well. And,
yes, he has. I guess he played last year.
Passes, but the Pioneers, you know, well, they've turned it over 3 times. And,
that's killed them.
You just can't do that. And you wind up playing defense all the time, too, you know, when you do that. It's like those 2 onside kicks are. I'm not sure the Pioneers have run a play since that first one.
No, I don't think you have. All right, coming out of the timeout now. Gill with one back in the backfield with him and 3 wide outs to the left. Here comes Lebanon coming after him. He has to hurry the throw, and it's intercepted, I think, in the end zone by Zach Hurtig with the interception. No, it was Caldwell with the interception. That'll do it here for the first half. And our score, Honaker leads 22-6. We'll be back with halftime comments in a moment. You're listening to high school football action on 107.3 WXL.